Hey everybody, today I'm going to be making some accessories for willow basket making. Okay, so this little guy here is going to be a compass. I'll use the compass to make this circular rotating jig, but more about that in just a minute. Alright, this is just a little Ticonderoga that I took from my daughter's school supplies. Thanks, Emma. Now I'm just going to make a nice tight friction fit into this 90-degree straight drilled hole. Then getting this marked out on a 2x2 1/2-inch sheet of scrap plywood. The process gets repeated on a thicker sheet of plywood that'll serve as the base. Now the idea here is that the jig will hold evenly spaced willow branches that'll be the ribs for a weaving project. I'll make my marks as evenly as I can and get some holes drilled. I'll get this center hole drilled for a bolt that'll be an axle of sorts, and then I'll put a piece of plywood in that'll be a spacer. So now you can see it coming together here. All right, let's get outside, look at some willow and what I've got rigged up for steaming. All right, rather than soak the willow, I'm using this old piece of basketball hoop pipe. This was trash. I've plugged up the holes with pieces of wood. And you can see here I've capped the end with another piece of wood. All right, somewhere deep down in there I put a couple risers in so that when I push the willow in, it doesn't sit on the bottom, but is suspended in an envelope of steam. Okay, so check this out. This is the 1-year growth willow. It's been cut, stripped of its leaves. It's nice and flexible. Can we use it? No. We have to boil it for 4 to 6 hours. We have to boil it? Now the boiling brings out that color that we're looking for in the traditional basket making. What if you don't care about that? I don't know. This is the jig that I made, and this is the willow that's been drying. Alright, check this out. This was the level of bend I was able to get using steam as opposed to soaking. Soaking is supposedly supposed to be 1 day for every foot of length. I tried soaking my willow for a week and I could not achieve this level of flexibility compared to the steam. And it would just snap and crack. The other thing that I learned with the steam is that you can't have an unrealistic expectation of its flexibility. It's not like Jello or it's not a plastic. Like, you have to kind of coax it. You want to kind of slowly work. That's what I've learned. Okay, question. Can we get the color that we want out of the willow without boiling it and instead using steam? Okay, let's load this up. So this is just a test for color. Just gonna bang this in. Okay, just gonna plug in the steamer here. I'm doing a test batch of willow to see if it adds the right color. Let's take a peek. I've got an offcut of the original. We can look at the difference. Here's offcuts from the originals. All right, here's another view under some even light. Here are the offcuts. Here's another view. For contrast, here are the offcuts that are green and then the brown hue of the steamed willows. One of the projects I've always been interested in is a willow obelisk for the garden to hold peas or tomatoes or any vining plants. So I'm gonna go ahead and take 10, 6, 7. I'll trim these and then steam them like the test batch. I've got the spines of the garden obelisk laid out, and the next step of the process will be to prepare some smaller diameter willow and to start weaving. All right, this is a homemade bodkin that I got off of Etsy. These zip ties should really be flush cut. Very nice. Stainless steel, and then a cherry handle. Very nice. All right, I can't believe it, but after 4 years, I'm ready to put this willow in the steam chamber to prepare it to try and weave onto this set of sticks that's 1 year growth willow and make the willow obelisk for the garden. I'm gonna wrap this in this moving blanket just to keep some of the extra heat in. All right, it's been about an hour. We got some steam coming out here pretty forcefully. That's about 8 feet long. Let me get some gloves on and we'll see how that willow's doing. All right, now you're supposed to let it mellow, which I will do, but I do want to just check out how it's going so far. Yeah, that's definitely on the right track. You can feel the fibers want to move without being super crispy. So I'm just gonna let that hang out in there and mellow out. All right, is this gonna work? Doesn't sound like it. Supposedly start with 2, cross it over like this, bring it up. This is not gonna work. This is too shallow, and these are too crispy. Here's to another year. You willow. All right, I added an additional 3/4 of an inch to this jig. Putting each one behind the other, every other hole here.
All right, take 2. Let's try this. Take another 2. Cross it over. Okay, I'm gonna bring these up. I'm rotating. Rotating. Butt end. Okay, we do the same again. All right, I'm trying some stuff here. Let's try some stuff. This goes up, and it doesn't go up that far. And then this. Here. And this one goes up. This, and then try not to kink it, but it is kinking a bit. And then graceful curve this way. Underneath. Okay. Shit, that's not a graceful curve. Has some potential. I don't have enough material to really make a lot of progress here. I have another small batch that's in the steamer right now. Let's give it a little haircut. Yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. I just don't have enough material. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in another year. Bye.
Okay, so it's the next day. I'm gonna finish this off using the green willow. Okay, this is where I think I start to do the twist. All right, here we are. This looks nice, I think. All right, hey everybody, here's my willow obelisk. I am happy with how it turned out despite the many failings. I started out with willow that I had dried and then reconstituted with steam. I ran out of that material, so I decided that I'd finish with the green willow from this year. There's many lessons that I could take from this. One is that it may be okay to practice with green willow in your first season, knowing that it's gonna dry up and loosen up on you, but to have that more immediate experience, getting the feel for what properly bendy willow can do, getting a little practice with a particular kind of weaving technique, because there are so many. Another thing is that working with willow seems to be kind of maybe even site specific. Like if you have access to a creek, that would be helpful for soaking, because I think what I would do in the future is do a combination of soaking and steaming, and then thinking really about the project that you want to do and thinking about the gauge of willow that you're growing or have access to. Also, the tools are important. Having this circular jig makes it easier to not be chasing and fighting the willow so much. Now that I've got one of these under my belt, I can think about getting a little more creative with it, thinking about optimizing my materials and just getting a plan for year 5. Thanks for following me on this journey with willow. See you next time. All right, if we take this out of the jig, is it going to totally fall apart? I don't think so.